You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Yeah, I jump out the booth. Then I might hop through the roof. Got all the rings. My team is the truth, but they some liars to you. And they never sing, but they always shoot. And all of their diamonds are new. And that's why I'm here revealing, cause I really get it. And I need all my honeys in blue. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. Be hating and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm Peyton. I boost up my rating. You know how I play with toys. Pop out on any occasion, get standing ovations. They can't help it but rejoice. They all wanna follow me.
Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Bengals and the Packers. All that and more coming up next.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champions Cincinnati Bengals taking on the NFC champions, the Green Bay Packers. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis and CD, the Bengals. Well, they're officially no fluke. Champions of the AFC for a second consecutive year.
And how about the Cincinnati Bengals franchise? Before last year, they had not won a playoff game since January of 1991. They are now 0-3 in Super Bowls with the loss last year to the Rams. 2 previously to Joe Montana, 49ers in the 1980s, looking to get their first championship in this one.
Meanwhile, the Packers are back as they look to bring another Super Bowl title home to a place aptly named Titletown.
And they're looking for their 5th win, which would tie them with the Cowboys and 49ers for 2nd all time. They did last win it in 2011. That was Super Bowl 45. Aaron Rodgers leading them over the Pittsburgh Steelers. But when you talk about titles, and you mentioned Titletown, they've won 13 championships overall when you count all the NFL titles prior to the Super Bowl era as well. So this is a town that's used to winning, and they expect to win this one as well.
And we will not have a return, so the first drive of the Super Bowl will begin at the 25. Here we go with the Packer offense, guided by their decorated QB with a long list of Pro Bowls and other accolades next to his name, of course. Aaron Rodgers leading the way.
Well, we all know this past offseason that Aaron Rodgers had options, and there's a possibility he might leave Green Bay. But he chose to return to the only franchise he's known, and for the second time, has them playing in the Super Bowl.
Rodgers going to come out throwing. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now it's Rodgers. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw brought in by Watson. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
12 more yards there and another first down. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
And how about the quick feet there as he made a man miss on his way to a solid gain of 7. Second down and 3. Ball on the 7. Again, it's Jones. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Packers are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. This fielded right at the goal line. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
And everyone was quick to say after a heartbreaking loss in last year's Super Bowl, don't worry, Joe Burrow will get back here again. But we all knew that was no guarantee, yet he's lived up to it. 1 year later, here he is leading the Bengals back for a shot at redemption in his 2nd Super Bowl appearance.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. You look at this Super Bowl, the 2nd appearance for this head coach. The first one did not go as planned, as we all know. But what do you think he's learned from that first go-around?
He learned how much it hurts to lose, and that's what you hear from coaches so often. They don't remember the wins as much as they remember the losses. You can talk about the media, the scrutiny, the hoopla, but once you've had to shake a head coach's hand and jog off the field and know you have to face the media, face your fans, face your home life, knowing that you've lost the Super Bowl, that hurts big time, and you're going to do everything possible to try and prevent that from happening again.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Here's Chase now on the jet sweep. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's dated.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, 24 yards. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying this Super Bowl at 7. Well, we've said it many times. He is always a threat to go the distance anytime he's got the ball in his hands. And on this occasion, he did just that.
Well, he's definitely the guy that makes this offense go. And when you're an RB1, running back 1, you've got to be willing to be patient at times as well. Not every run's going to be the home run we saw there. But once you get that opportunity and that opening, you take full advantage.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Ballantyne opting not to return it, and his guys will have it at the 25. Now the Packers get set to go. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But Let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 1 quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57. 7-all is the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the 2nd quarter. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, he'll find Jones again, complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Rodgers. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a 1st down as he stopped at the 48. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. He's got a man, complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, you know, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there.
And that's how you start a drive, because you know they had this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity, unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
And that one covering an even 63 yards in the air. Now Pirine. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal as he's inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now, because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another 1st down run right there.
And he will take it on in for the Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Bengals have moved out in front. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. Another drive coming up for this Packers offense. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Now Rodgers. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. The Bengals with 2 extra DBs, a nickel look on third.
Blanket in the passing lanes.
Rodgers going to throw. Eluding the pressure. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. And McPherson on for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Ballantyne opting not to return it, and his guys will have it at the 25. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. First down, Rodgers. And it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD. Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick 6 here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, the ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
McPherson on for the point after. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right, throw it out the window. Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And Lazard's got it again. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Now Rodgers. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. To throw on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd down, here's Jones. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill.
This is taken around the 12. It's a nifty return of 29 yards.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. You don't see that too often, Charles. He punted that away and then hustled up to make the stop as well.
Yeah, because oftentimes they serve as their own safety after punting it. You want to be the last guy, but he decided to get involved in the action, didn't he? And what a spark that's got to provide for the rest of his team when they see their punter out there making a nice hit.
From the 44,
Burrow, quick slant caught by Chase. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
One more, right? 11 empty.
They will throw on first down with Burrow.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
On one, ready?
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow.
And connects quickly to Jamar Chase. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This from 54 yards away.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
Takes it at the 7.
So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. Now time for a check of the next-gen stats in the first half for the Bengals. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the 3rd and 4th quarters. Meanwhile, for the Packers, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Both teams with some extra time to prepare during this long halftime break, but we're about ready to restart the second half of Super Bowl 57. So let's get back out to Arizona and Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl.
And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. And the Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
Yeah, good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 68 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
They'll run it here with Pirine. Runs over him. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Again, here's Pirine. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Here we go.
They'll go to Pirine, trying to pound it in. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Samaje Pirine taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bengals are starting to open things up here in the Super Bowl.
Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent, and they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Ballantyne opting not to return it, and his guys will have it at the 25. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession.
Jones hit, and the ball's out. And the Bengals grab it, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15.
It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Here's Pirine. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Mixing up the middle. Evades him at the 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
96 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Here we go, here we go.
Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale.
We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. Pirine is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Once more, Pirine.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Samaje Pirine, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Bengals are starting to pour it on at the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the 4th quarter. That NFC crown that they got 2 weeks ago seems like a distant memory as they have been outplayed tonight.
Now a throw out to his fullback is complete. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing is Rodgers. toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Rodgers now on first down. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Rodgers now to throw. That's complete right side to Lazard.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Rodgers to throw once more.
Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Here's Rodgers. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On second down, it's Jones. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And it's a Packers touchdown.
Josiah DeGuara
From 4 yards out.
And the Packers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off.
Taking it about the 1. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off.
Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Throwing again on second down. Burrow. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Working from the gun, Rodgers. This is caught. Touchdown.
Josiah DeGuara.
His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Packers take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. And a decisive advantage became even more decisive. They already had the win in hand, but they keep pressing the tempo, and they pile on with another touchdown reception.
Would you consider that touchdown a reward to all the tight ends on their roster for their effort today? Not just running their routes, but all the time they spent in the trenches, laying down blocks, doing the little things to help that offense succeed. And for doing all of that, they definitely want one of their tight ends to get a touchdown to really seal this blowout.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
96 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, this part of the game, the fourth quarter, this is where a running back really has a chance to shine. This is what they've been training for, to take over the game down the stretch. The defense, it's been battered all game long. And here, this is just a case of a runner imposing his will and deciding he didn't want to be tackled right there.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. They go play action with Burrow. He'll get this out to his running back, P-Ryan. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. On play action, Rodgers. And this one is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Rodgers to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Man open, here is Jones. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Rodgers now on first down. And he wisely will throw that one away.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability there to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Rodgers again now. He's got the hook up to Lazard. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
He'll get this to Lazard. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And he's got it. And the Packers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Bengal Nation rejoice. Cincinnati has given you the Super Bowl title. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.